Hi everyone, so today I just wanted to film a video about how to pick up groceries on a motorcycle. I get a lot of comments with people saying I'm stupid, I shouldn't have gotten a motorcycle, it's less convenient, you know, you have to like ride your bike in the cold and the rain, all that crap. Well, I really friggin' like motorcycles. They're fun, they have advantages over cars, they're lighter, smaller vehicles, you can cut through traffic, they're faster, more fuel efficient so you don't spend as much money on gas, you don't pollute the environment as much, and on my bike especially, it's electric, so you don't even have to worry about gas. And that's another thing. With electric motorcycles, they're much cheaper than cars. For like a Tesla Model 3, it's the cheapest Tesla, you're still looking at $45,000 Canadian starting price for a Model 3. The bikes we got, the Zero FX, I only paid $12,000 for them, and it was an end-of-year sale, so I saved a bit of money. So $12,000 for an electric motorcycle versus $45,000 for an electric car, huge savings there. So I just wanted to show you guys how easy it is to pick up a shit ton of groceries on a bike. And first off, this is the crap you're going to need. So you will want a travel trunk or a rear case. You'll also want some saddlebags, and you also want to carry some of these bungee nets, like they're kind of, yeah, I think that's what they're called, bungee nets or bungee ropes. And some lashing straps. So these have a ratchet mechanism, which makes it a little easier to, tighten them around stuff. And of course, safety gear, helmet, gloves, and Kevlar jeans and jacket also helps. Okay, so we're on our way to Costco, and in case you were wondering what kind of range you can expect on an electric bike like this, this has a 6.5 kilowatt battery, and that will give you about 140 kilometers in the city, and it'll give you about 50 kilometers on the highway. And that might not sound like a lot, but you have to consider how far you really travel for just normal commuting, and just really what you're going to use the bike for. Like, do you really go on the highway for over 100 kilometers every day, or do you ever do that? Do you live in the city? Do you really only use bikes for commuting in the city? So depending on what your use case scenario is, this might be a fantastic bike. And really, 50 kilometers highway, 140 kilometers in the city, that's adequate for the vast majority of people. And when you consider that you can get a supercharger for this bike that lets you charge at, any public charging station, you can pretty much go anywhere. You could do long distance touring on this bike if you wanted. So electric motorcycles are a totally viable option. And if you have the money, you can step up and get just a bigger bike with a bigger battery. Zero makes the DS, DSR, and the S and SR. Those have big 13 kilowatt to 14 kilowatt batteries in them. That'll give you about 150 kilometers on the highway and around 350 kilometers in the city. It is more expensive, it's about twice the price of this bike, but if you consider Tesla Model 3 is, around $45,000 Canadian, well, you're paying about half that for like a Zero DSR or a SR, which will give you a ton of range, and that fulfills pretty much everyone's needs. So, and even if you aren't interested in an electric bike, just normal gas motorcycles, they do have more fuel economy than a car. So, why not consider getting either a motorcycle or an electric motorcycle when they're faster, you can weave through traffic, and they're just more fun. I mean, like, if you can do a normal mundane task like going to the grocery store and, picking up food, and it becomes fun, I think there's quite a lot of value in that. And plus, you're saving gas, so you're being environmentally friendly at the same time, so win-win. I should also mention that electric motors are insanely powerful.
The amount of torque you get out of an electric motor is crazy. This bike will give you 78 foot-pounds of torque at 46 horsepower. Now, 46 horsepower, that's nothing to sneeze at. It's not insane, but, you know, it's pretty decent. But you get 78 foot-pounds of torque instantaneously at 0 RPM. That's more torque than most 600cc motorcycles. I've raced people at stoplights. The one guy had a CBR 600. I blew him away just because of the amount of low-end torque. Now, obviously, the top speed isn't as fast as a CBR 600 on this bike, but you know, most of the fun you have is kind of at lower speeds. So torque gives you just more fun. You know, you could get an insane leader bike that can go 200 miles an hour, but when the hell are you ever going to go that fast? Most of the fun you're going to have is going, you know, either city speeds or highway speeds, around 60 kilometers to 120 kilometers an hour. And just having a ton of torque like that, it's more fun. You can pop wheelies super fucking easily. You can do burnouts. You can just beat people at stoplights. Just the acceleration you get, it just makes it more enjoyable. So that's another big benefit of an electric bike. Let's see. Oh, I always find a spot right here for some reason. Don't know why. Excellent. Okay, so we just got out of Costco, and this is everything we got. Avocados, medjool dates, a box of blueberries, 4 boxes of cherries, blackberries, 2 big watermelons, 1 small watermelon, 3 boxes of kiwis, and a thing of vegan burgers from Eve's. I've never seen this one before, so I wanted to try it, and all of this should fit on my one bike. We do have Jasmine's bike over here, so if it's overloaded, you have a little bit of extra space, but it should fit all on here. So number one thing when packing a motorcycle is you do need a bit of practice. It's hard to really understand how much cargo capacity you have until you've experimented a little bit. Usually you end up having a lot more than you think you do, because, you know, the bike looks kind of small. It's not like a big trunk like a car. It's a little harder to imagine how much you can pack in, but you can pack in quite a lot, and sometimes you do get creative. So first of all, I think I'll put the kiwis in the travel trunk here. So all 3 fit, and we've got an extra bit of storage room up here, so I think I'll put in the medjool dates, the blackberries, the avocados, and I'll see if I can actually fit this, maybe. Let's see. Alright, so that just about fits, and now all we have left is the blueberries, cherries, and melons. Alright, so that pretty much fits in perfectly, and then the other 2 things of cherries can fit in the other side. And we actually still have quite a bit of extra space in here.
Maybe the baby melon can go.
Yeah. So the baby melon should be able to fit in here. Might be a little snug, but it can fit. So we got everything in. The cherries and crap are in the side bags. The kiwis and everything are in the box, and the 2 melons are secured with the lashing straps and the bungee net. And it's very tight and secure. It's not going anywhere. I am going to drive kind of carefully just to make sure nothing comes loose, but we got all the groceries in one bike. Okay, so we're ready to go. One thing you do want to be careful of is not to hit your foot on the crap in the back when you're getting on the bike. There we go. Son of a bitch. Oh, motherfuck. Also, when you're getting a lot of groceries like this, there's going to be a lot of extra weight on the back of your bike, and it's a good idea to tune the suspension a little bit
just so, you know, the bike is still stable around corners and over bumps and shit. Oh, there's a motorcycle. Hi, motorcycle. Hi. Oh, you said hi back to me. So this is another consideration when you're riding a motorcycle. This guy has a big box in his trunk that isn't secured at all. So it could fly out the back. Now, if you're in a car, that's not really a big deal. Like, it is a big deal. You could get into an accident, could hit your car, fuck up your shit. But on a motorcycle, it could kill you. Far less likely chance of that killing you in a car. So it's good to just either stay way back from those people, or just switch lanes. Yeah, and pass them. And we're back from Costco, and just to show you again, this is all the groceries we got that fit in the motorcycle. Just the one bike too. Small melon, 2 big melons, big box of burgers, box of dates, 4 boxes of cherries, box of blackberries, blueberries, and 3 boxes of kiwis, and the avocados back there. So quite a lot. And if you have any comments or questions about my motorcycle, what type of gear I use, how I pack things, just leave it in the comment section down below. And as always, keep making those vegan and motorcycle gains.
Beef. What a relief. When will this poisonous product cease? This is another public service announcement. You can believe it or you can doubt it. Let us begin now with the cow. The way it gets to your plate and how.
This melon's a bit softer, so it might be overripe, so I might as well just try to eat this one
You
first.
should take off the sticker.
Yeah, I don't do that. That's not how I roll. Yeah, that one's rotten. Yeah, it's totally rotten.
Oh no.
Oh well. Oh, it even smells. Ugh.
Feels bad, man.
Okay, let's test the other melon. That one looks okay. You know what, too? Bikes just look fucking cool. I mean, right? Don't bikes look fucking cool, though? Yeah, so, I mean, if you want a cool-looking vehicle to impress people, I know a lot of guys like having a nice, cool car or bike, so, you know, I think motorcycles have a bigger cool factor than most cars that, at least most people can afford anyway, so.
Cool.
Yeah, so that's another benefit.